Hello, this is Mr. Huff. So what we're going to do today is we're going to figure out how to turn this fin shape into something we can cut on the laser cutter. So what we will need to do is make sure we have produced the report right here by using File and Export PDF. You should end up with something like this. It should be 5 pages long. It should have your rocket. Here's your layout, some test results. It will have some parts. It has this fin guide that we're not going to use. And then this last page is important. 2 things on here. One of these is this is a scale to help us understand if this is the right size, and then this is the fin. One of the things we need to pay attention to, this is the leading edge of the fin, and it needs to be horizontal in our final design. Okay, so what we're going to do is open up Inkscape and start a new document. It should look like this on your computers. If it doesn't, it's maybe light, but the ones I turned on in the computer lab default to dark theme. So it should look like this. The first thing we're going to do is, let's think about what we're going to do here. So we're going to use the import tool to bring in our PDF page. We're going to measure the little scale to make sure it's close to 50 millimeters. We're going to add a layer to draw on. We're going to use the Bezier tool to draw around it. If you have an elliptical fin, we need to look at this a little more because it's a little more complicated. And then we're going to copy and paste our final design after we get it aligned properly. So let's do this. So here we are. We're going to go File and Import. We're going to use the name of the report, and I made one called Video Example. So whatever you did for your export, get that. We're going to click Open, and then you can see that we have that PDF there, but we don't want all the pages. We only want page 5, the one that has this drawing on it. Click OK, and then we end up with this. So you can click on any of these parts. When you get the little 4-pointed arrow, drag it around until it's inside this page. Okay. Now we have this. The next thing we need to do is verify that this is actually about 50 by 50. Okay, so we're going to look over here and find the measure tool. And then I'm going to use Control and scroll wheel and zoom in on this. And then I can just center click and drag that around on the scroll wheel. Okay, so what we're going to do is click on, let's look at the centimeter size. We're going to go from the origin, click and hold, and then go to that centimeter line there and let go. And that says 50.3. It's a little bit off right there. That's fine. We could probably move that a little bit. But 49.8, so as long as this is like 49 or 50, we're good to go. We're going to grab this and measure it this direction. So we're going to go to this line here. Okay, so, and that one is, actually get it horizontal, 49.8, so that's like 50. Some of the buttons you can toggle are related to the measurements. If it's showing up like this, where it has, let's see, if yours looks like this, then check this button right here that shows measurements between items. And then sometimes you may see something like this where it's measuring like some interim things. You can click this a few times to toggle that off and on. And also you can click only selected, and that's probably the one we want. So I only want to see just a line there. So you may have to click on these little buttons here to get it to present what you're looking for. Okay? But what we've done is we've verified that this is about 50 millimeters, which is 5 centimeters, which means that this scale is accurate. That's the whole reason we did that. Press Escape a couple of times to get out of that tool. And now we need to go deal with this fin. Okay, so we're going to go into Layer, and we're going to add a layer. And we want it to be above the current. I don't care about the name, just click Add. So we have 2 layers. We have the drawing that we imported on layer 1, the bottom, and we have a layer above that, which is where we're going to outline this fin. So we're going to use the Bezier tool right here. Click this one, and we're just going to go around and trace this. So I'm clicking on each corner. And if you have an elliptical fin, come see me. We'll work through how to do that. So make sure it's red right there and click to close it. Should come up with a dotted line. Some things you can do is you can change the color of the line by right-clicking on one of these and setting the stroke. And now we have a blue line there. All right, so that is our fin. What we're going to do now is, since we've got our fin outlined, we don't need anything else on here, so we're going to go to the layer below, and then I'm going to click on, press escape, and then click on this one, and you can see it picked the entire drawing here, and I'm going to delete that. Okay, now let's look at our fin design. I'm going to select that, and we're going to click on it one more time right here, and you see the arrows change to angles. This needs to be horizontal. This is my leading edge of my fin. You need to pay attention to this because the leading edge and the grains of the wood need to be horizontal or parallel to each other, not horizontal. Well, they do need to be horizontal, and that's going to make it parallel. So the leading edge needs to be horizontal. So I'm going to grab this arrow here and rotate it until it lines up with that bottom dotted line. Do you see this right here? So that's my leading edge. And when I cut this, we're going to make sure that is parallel to the grain boundaries. Then I can grab this and move it. Okay. Now I'm going to use Control and Center, spin my wheel, the little scroll wheel. Yeah, that's it. We're going to use Control C and then Control V. And let's zoom in right here. We're going to zoom in, and we want to bring it up where the bottom edge is on the same line, and we have a little space between those, okay? Zoom out. Then we are going to copy and paste and line that up and move this over. All right, we're almost there. So now we have 3 fins that we're ready to cut. We're going to Control and scroll wheel out. So I want this page to fit these so that everything lines up properly. So I'm going to press Control and Shift and R for resize. And now we're going to do Control S. And we're going to save this as an Inkscape SVG. Put it in the same place that you put your rocket design so it's easy to find. So give me a moment. Okay, mine is in here, so I'm just going to call this one last name fins. Okay, so you'll put your last name and fins on there so you know what it is. And now we have an SVG we can load into our laser software and cut these fins. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions.